to our back to school night. Mrs. Friedman, thank you for joining us. PTA heads, Mrs. Rachel Saban, Mrs. Emma Levine, Mrs. Anna Berman. Teachers at the back, good evening. Anke, thank you for coming and supporting us. It's a great evening today. It's good to see all of you here after a long summer. Also nice to see some new faces here. Welcome to Carmel School. This is the schedule for tonight. We will start here with you a presentation, and then you will meet your child home teacher. And later you can see also the specialist teachers. It's okay, we'll show the slide later. Okay, before I start, please let me introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. It's Ansa Gevlevi, I'm the head of elementary. I was born and raised in Israel in a beautiful place called Zivron Yaakov, very quiet place. And from a very young age, I knew that I was going to be a teacher. Maybe not a head of school, but definitely a teacher. And when I say young age, I mean that my first students were my Barbie dolls. So you can imagine that it was very challenging because it was a girls' class, only one boy. When I was 18, I applied to be a supply teacher in elementary school in Zivron, in Israel. And in the interview, they said, "Oh, good that you are here, what a perfect timing. We're looking for a home teacher for grade 4. And I was like, no. I want to be a supply teacher, if a teacher is sick, I can come to cover. They said, yeah, but we really need a grade 4 home teacher. She broke her leg. She needs to be 3 months at home, school, a lot of stairs. Good luck. And I said, why not, right? What could go wrong? Apparently, everything. It was, honestly, now I know that I did all the possible mistakes with this class. Okay, not all possible, but it wasn't so good. I survived, and also the other students, and I hope so. So I understand that I need to go to the university to learn how to do it. So a few years later, I got my Bachelor of Education degree and teaching certificates in Hebrew language and special needs education. Later, I got my Master of Education in Management of Educational Systems. Before coming to Hong Kong, my last role was a deputy head of high school in Israel. 8 years ago, I arrived in Hong Kong with my husband and our 3 kids. Today, they are in grade 8, Noah in grade 6, both in high school, and my little baby in grade 3, Tomer. I started my journey in elementary as a Hebrew teacher here, and then I moved to high school in the MYP and later in the diploma program. So I'm telling you all this, so you understand that in the last 19 years, I saw different schools, small schools, big schools, special needs schools, some schools with program for gifted students as well. And I must say that this place, Carmel School, is a very special place. Now, not because we are small. We have a lot of, up there's a lot of small schools. What we do have here is a strong sense of community that's based on 2 things. Number 1 is the relationship that the teachers have with your kids. Number 2 is the connection that the teachers have with you, the parents. And I feel very grateful for this opportunity that I can be part of Carmel family, and I hope that you feel the same. You do feel the same, right? Yeah. Sure. Okay, so I'm pleased to share that the first 2 weeks of school went well. We had a very positive start, and with some icebreaker games and teamwork games, we really believe in the power of the first 2 weeks of school. Sometimes it can set the tone of the whole year. The focus is on ensuring that students feel comfortable in the school. Comfortable to speak, comfortable to ask questions, comfortable to make mistakes, to apologize if needed. Now, why all this? Because we are an IB school. Now, the PYP, which I will explain in a minute, is based on student inquiry, and it can only work when students feel safe in this school. Now, when I say safe, all aspects. okay? But mainly to be himself so he can feel comfortable in the class. So what is the IB PYP learning profile? So as Rachel Saban said in her speech last year in the grade 5 stepping up ceremony, she said like this. You teachers call it IB words. We, the parents, call it a bunch of words that every year teachers try to explain to us why we are sitting on very tiny, uncomfortable chairs in the classrooms. And she's right. She's right. Actually, the students are the ones that can tell you all about the PYP because they're really engaged, but we will try our best to explain it today better. So let me give you a very quick overview about the program, the PYP, but not only. About the PYP, also about all the educational details that we have here. So the primary is, please, there are some seats there. Sit. There are more chairs on the other side as well, yes. So for those who just joined me, I will explain all this to you later in person as well. So the primary years program is a curriculum framework. Now it's important that you will know that it's a framework that includes 6 transdisciplinary themes. As you can see, I'm sure you already heard these words from your kids. Who we are, 6 different units, who we are, where we are in place and time, how we express ourselves, how we organize ourselves, how the world works, and sharing the planet. Now, all these units, actually you can also find it outside of the PYP room, in the 2nd floor. And we explored these units in different aspects: math, science, history, Hebrew, Mandarin, even in the choir lesson as well. And this is a meaningful learning. Now, what makes it so special is that the kids are very active in this learning, and they're active by taking an action. Sometimes action inside the school, sometimes outside the school. And let's see some examples. So for example, where we are in place and time, you can see on the right side, grade 1 students last year, and together with the kindergarten, they discussed homes around the world, and they learned different styles of homes, and later we asked them to design their own model from different materials. It's called Gallery Walk and Talk, and it was amazing because other students came to this presentation, other teachers, some teachers as well, sometimes also parents. Now just imagine, they are 5 years old, 6 years old, their first presentation to other people. It's amazing, all the papers that you see there and all the materials that they created, the model, it was very impressive. So this is an example of something that we are doing inside of school. Grade 4 and 5, they went to visit the Africa Center, and they learned about the different culture, and there's some nice escape room there, and also some Africa drum workshop. So this is just, I try to give you some, that you will understand that what we are learning in class, they must do something with this later, some action that it will, not just to remember, but also to understand what they are doing. Another example from Sharing the Planet, I think this is the favorite unit of the kids. This is grade 4 last year. They went to do some beach cleanup. We want to tell them, to teach them that even small action matter. And inside of school, we had a very interesting guest speaker that came here with some different animals. He was very excited for grade 2 and 3. And yeah, look at their faces. Yeah. Another example, and the last one for the PYP, is how we organize ourselves. So we learned about people and places that help the community. So over there you can see it's called Box City. Thank you for sending all these boxes to school. And this is inside the kindergarten classroom. And they created their own city with hospital, with police station, with schools, with fire station. And then we took them also to see a fire station, to visit the fire station. It was very, very exciting visit for kindergarten and grade 1. And the highlight, of course, of the PYP is the grade 5 exhibition. It's a big celebration in school because we're actually celebrating the whole process of the PYP, and it's always very, very creative. And this is at the end of grade 5. Now, in addition to the PYP, of course, we have some standalone subjects. And as you know, we have a very high academic achievement, so we feel comfortable enough to send our students to competitions. Now, sometimes the competition is individual, like this art, for example, and sometimes can be a full class, in an athletics competition, for example. So you can see the art competition. This is the third year in a row that we are always at the top 3. And sometimes it's you can see photos, you can see for drawing, and this is the Hong Kong young writers. We have also some 2 students from elementary there, and also some students from high school at the same event. It was very, very impressive. Such a small school, and we are out there. It's very impressive to see. Another example is the athletics, as I said, the competition. Again, we won 2022, we won 2023, and we are looking forward for the competition of 2024, which will be in November. This was a class competition. And on the left side, you can see a team. It's the U12, under 12 girls football ELSA team. Last year was the first time that the elementary and high school make a collaboration, and they also won. And we don't have the facilities. We need to send them to Happy Valley for all this. So, yes, it was the first time to run this. So it's important to understand that it's not the facilities that what we need. We need a professional teachers, and we need the passion of the students. So this is just a few examples. Sorry, teacher, that I know that we have more competition that I didn't mention. Of course. Specific subject that I would like to mention is the Jewish studies as a Jewish international school. This is not just a subject, this is our spirit. This is the heart. I cannot send the students to a competition about Jewish studies. We can in high school for Hidon Tanakh, of course, we always do it. But in elementary, the focus is also in high school on Jewish values. Now, I want to teach the kids about kindness, about compassion. How can I teach them? Only by setting an example. Only of the things that we are doing day to day here in our classroom, doing recess, doing lunchtime. This is how they will understand what is kindness, what is, the way that I speak to other teachers, the way that I speak to them. And this is by action. So, of course, we have the Kabbalat Shabbat every Friday here. Actually, it's here in this school hall. And this stage belongs to the students. We have more students than teachers on this stage every Friday. This photo is actually from this year. Some 2 risk-takers, girls from kindergarten, giving tzedakah. And if you have a child in kindergarten, grade 1 and grade 2, or grade 2, you will be invited to our Jewish study celebration, Shabbat party, Siddur presentation, and Chumash celebration. The school calendar, the Jewish calendar is very busy. Every month we have something to celebrate or to mention. It's not always celebration. So it's very busy. You can see some examples here of Purim and Chaget Tishrei, and all school students, teachers. I'm sure you remember the big event from last year at the JCC that was beautiful. One of the events that is also a big celebration here in school is Yom Ha'atzmaut. And actually in all three campuses we are celebrating. It's a very, very big school, big day here. And on this day, but not only, we continue to show our support in Israel. And since October 7, we pray for better days and for some good news. And as we celebrated the Jewish holidays, we also have the Chinese New Year celebration. It's always very fun and lovely photos. And what is so special in this assembly, it's only in Mandarin. All the performances here are in Mandarin. So you can see the students, the language skills that they got here, because we teach in Hebrew, we teach in English, and we have Hebrew lesson and Mandarin lessons. So we have some celebrations here, but also with the PTA in the Chinese New Year lunch, so the kids also have the performance there. We have also some special days in the school. For example, the STEAM Week, which I must say that has been doing. The high school has been doing this for years, designing STEAM Week, and elementary Elementary, only last year we started the STEAM Week, and of course we'll do it this year as well, also from it's all the way from preschool to high school. Art gallery, last year was the first time, and definitely we are going to do it one more time. I wish every week, every year. Sports Day, I think it's one of the favorite days of the students of the year. They love the Sports Day. And Reading Week, together with the PTA, we planned the book affair. And it's also a special. So, of course, before the event, you will know about it, but this is why I want you to see the variety and the fact that every month we have here something that we are planning for the kids to have meaningful learning. As a PYP school, education goes beyond the classrooms, and the kids, we are sending them for some trips, field trips outside. Last year, for example, they were in Hong Kong Park, art exhibitions, science museum, the Hong Kong Central Library. Now look at the picture and you can see that it's not just a trip, it's an educational visit. We gave them a checklist with all the birds in Hong Kong Park, and they need to find all these birds there. And they had some yoga session. This is one of our teachers, this is Miss Neha. So we planned everything and we carry everything with us. And it was a very nice trip with a yoga session there. And some art exhibition. I don't know if you remember last year, it was all about murals. And it was very nice to connect it to our well-being lessons. Because we are discussing about how I see myself, how others see me. It was very, the reflection was very meaningful. The highlights of the educational visits is, of course, grade 3, 4, and 5. They are still in Hong Kong, don't worry, only in high school we send them outside of Hong Kong. In elementary, it's still with us here. So from grade 3 till grade 5, they have some team building activities, and we encourage them, of course. Wait, did you say something? Sorry, I heard something. So we encourage them to step outside of their comfort zone. The kids are really excited for this. The parents are very nervous about it. Don't worry, we have sessions online and face-to-face, and we give all the information. And just look at this, it's lovely. For some of them, most of them, this is something that they are not doing every weekend, and also not in school. Now, all this is nice, it's good, it's important, but the focus in Carmel School is not just about what we teach, it's about how we teach. And this is how we teach. Chanoch Lanar al pi darko, educate the child according to his or her own way. Every 2 weeks, we have student review here. We discuss all the students in the school, academic and social aspect. We have some issues, some challenges, we are setting some goals. We invite parents to join these meetings as well. It's always with Miss Valley. She will introduce herself soon. So we know what's going on. And we know what is the learning style of each student here. So I think today, when we are all here, PTA, Mrs. Friedman, Mr. Zimmerman, our Carmel School Board Chairman, we are all here together, parents and teachers, to say thank you to our Carmel elementary teachers at the back. Thank you so much. Thank you for believing that every child can learn, and you are working so hard to find the right way to teach the students, and at the same time, while we are setting high expectations, at the same time, you are taking care of their well-being. So thank you, teacher, for this. Parents, as you can understand, we all have the same goal. We all want your child's journey in elementary will be filled with joy, with care, with knowledge, and with a lot of love. Please remember that we have open door policy here. Please share with us all your concerns. We are here to listen. This is why we are here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I wish you all a great academic year. And as I said, our students' well-being is one of our main focus. I would like to invite Ms. Val, Carmel Elementary Health Pastoral Care.
I think I said exactly the same thing last year. By the time I get up here, Nitan said everything. She's told you how you want to be a student. She's told you how the most important thing is the well-being. Because without that, you cannot achieve academic success. You cannot achieve the social success, the emotional success. So number one, before anything else, their well-being and they need to feel safe. They need to feel cared for. They need to feel that this is home away from home. So I think that is first and foremost our first goal. Thereafter, we can do math, English, we can do all the other things, but that needs to be in place first. So as Nitan said, we do really try our best to put that in place for each and every child. We try and know each and every child individually, what works for them, what doesn't work for them, how to manage certain children in certain ways. So that is very much our focus. We also have a well-being program, focusing largely on positive psychology, which is current trend in schools. And I think if you look around Hong Kong, most of the schools are introducing or have already introduced positive psychology within the school. So positive psychology supports positive relationships. They support engagement with whether it's your academics, with your community, with your social life, all of those things. Positive emotions, we do a lot of, in the first units of inquiry, it's always about self and myself in the world. So we look at our relationships to others, we look at our own strengths, at our own areas where perhaps we can put a little bit of extra work in. So I think all of these things, all the positive psychology is reinforced by the IB curriculum, the PYP curriculum that we are doing, but also very much by the Jewish values of the school. So it works, it goes very much hand in hand, which doesn't mean there's never any problems. I mean, we wish for a perfect world and a perfect school. We are sometimes going to have incidents where children get upset, or incidents where somebody's sad, or somebody is putting a lot of pressure on themselves. However, we take those situations and we try and help the children through those situations, give them the tools, help them to communicate, etc., etc. So those are the skills that we try to develop within this environment. I think in terms of positive psychology, important for all humans to have meaning beyond themselves. I think if our pure focus in life is self, we often feel dissatisfied. So it's meaning within our spirituality, which does not necessarily mean we are a Jewish school, there are children here that are not Jewish. It's more about the values rather than the religion per se. So the values, the community, the helping each other, the supporting each other, the accepting each other, those are all really important values that we want children to learn. And then accomplishment is the last sort of piece in positive psychology. And the children can do that, and I think if any of you, I think maybe a few of you have been at assembly where we have these tiny tots sitting behind the piano, and they're playing their little one-finger tune. It might be blah blah black sheep, happy really well, and everybody claps and cheers, and all their little friends give them a high five. So all those ways that they grow, or there'll be a little one who will play the violin, or say a poem, or do a dance. And children are amazingly supportive of one another, and I think because of the environment that they're in, that is how they respond to one another. So yes, we do really try our best to children's, or each one of your children's well-being is important to us. And if there is, if you have concerns, if you have fears, if you have complaints, if you have, please reach out. We're always here to listen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Val. And now for the voice of the parents, I to invite Anna Berman and
Hey, I wrote a speech, but I'm tired, so I'm going to talk to you guys mostly. Can I get a show of hands for who is new to the school or the BRC or road? Okay, so we got a few of you. Depending on how many, I may be a little harsher than not. So, okay, Richard, please go to the first slide. First of all, welcome everyone to the new school year. Welcome parents. I'm excited to have you here. I am just thrilled to be back to school, so I'm moving along. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Anna Berman. This is my daughter, Alessandra, in second grade, and David in Gimnasium. I had some jokes in here, but you can go to the next slide. Okay, so let's meet your PTA. We have Emma Lavin at JCC and ELC. Myself in BRC and Rachel Saban in K1. These women, obviously, you should know, but I should say it out loud, they're incredible and incredibly just beyond dedicated. So I'm so grateful to be alongside you, even though we do not get paid for this. This is not a job. If you don't know them or me, I would love for you guys to come up and say hi to us. And good guys, it's here. And when you do come up to us, even if you do know us, just remind us your name and what grade you're in, because we see a lot of you, and we've got a lot of kids between us. So names are hard to remember sometimes. Okay, next slide. Thank you. Okay, class moms. Say hi to your class moms. In kindergarten, we have Romy. Is Celine here, or should we run? Oh, she made it, okay. All right, myself in grade 2, we have Roz. Roz, are you here? Maggie in grade 4. And Emma in grade 5. Okay. What do your class moms do? Your class moms are basically going to communicate to your teacher and you. They're going to basically, there's a field trip coming up. They're going to say, hey, we need some chaperones, who's available. They're going to remind you to pack a hat, maybe schedule your distributed readers if you're in a younger grade, maybe even arrange a social class meetup outside of school. And I'm not going to lie, it's awesome being a class mom because you get more access to your teacher. You honestly just become a part of the Carmel ecosystem. Like, you'll spend more time in your classroom, more time seeing what your kids are doing, and you become closer to your child's teacher. So you do get like a little inside extra bits. And this part too is that you role model for your child what it's like to become like a leader and step up into help your community. Now, thank you to all my class moms. I really appreciate it. I know there are some moms out there who are a little upset they did not become class mom. You're doing your best. There's only one spot, and I did write one line in here that everyone's like, Anna, don't say that. Say it. Okay, if you would like to be class mom next year, please exceed my expectations this year. And alternatively, I'm registered at Lady Crawford. Okay, dads. Technically, this position is called class parent. Only one of you made my short list this year. Okay, and if you look closely, he's somewhere in here. Okay, what do we do essentially? All right, can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so you can have a class parent. The good news is you can still get involved in PTA. And what do? We run, next slide please, Ricky. We run all of these events throughout the year. I'm going to highlight I'm going to talk about Tuck Shop, which is the next one. Next slide, please. Okay, Tuck Shop is my absolute favorite way to get involved at school. It is literally like the least amount of commitment is volunteer and absolutely most satisfying experience. So if you're new to BRC or Carmel, Tuck Shop is you set up like this little booth and you have like drinks, snacks for the kids, and the kids come in with like $20. And let me tell you, the way their face lights up over pretzels, it's unbelievable. And it's great because you get to see your kid in their element. You get to see like who they're talking to, what they're playing. It's, like I said, you're a part of the ecosystem. And this year we're going to do something different. We have had a WhatsApp group for Tuck Shop that has been notoriously hard to get into. I just got into it last week myself. But I'm going to open things up. So if, wait, actually, I'll come back to that in a second. I have one other one. Let me talk about Chinese New Year, and then I'm going to tell you how Tuck Shop is going to work. Okay, Chinese New Year is the other event that I just want to talk about that we do at PTA because I love it. Like, all you have to do is show up and eat food. And all of us parents, we literally just socialize. Like, there's a Lazy Susan, like who's going to go to Lazy Susan dim sum. It's great and such a nice way to get to know like all the other parents. So if you either want to help out and plan it or just come, like we would love to get you involved. Okay, next slide, please. All right, everyone take out your phones. So take out your phones, please. Like I said, Tuck Shop is the absolute best thing to volunteer at, and we do 4 of them a year, and we do 4 to 6 volunteers a year per Tuck Shop. And it's going to be first come, first serve. So you are going to go to this, you're going to scan this in, and then you're going to put your name in, you're going to go to the drop-down menu, say what you want to volunteer for, and you're not dedicating like your whole life, you're just saying I'm interested in this, okay? And it'll be first come, first serve. If anyone cancels on me in less than 24 hours, you'll be watched to the back of the list, okay? I had one parent who I do not see here, so I'll just say, told me they're coming every single time last Tuck Shop, and bailed on me every single time. Okay. But seriously, we do want your involvement, and we were literally just saying, I'm interested in this, okay? Like, I'm not asking you to be charged with anything. Okay, thank you. Okay, how do we communicate with you guys? We have an app. Al, I know you're in here, and I'm sure you're going to tell us about the app, but it bears saying it twice. We have a Carmel app. You literally just download the Carmel app, and then this is what you see when you enter just the first page, all right? If you go to news and updates, every week your teacher puts a newsletter about your class. There's pictures and all sorts of fun things you don't see unless you go to it. So you can find the newsletter, okay? Then, if you go down here, you see photo gallery. We literally, I don't, the school does, upload all the pictures that they do throughout the year, all the events. You'll find tons and tons and tons of photos that we don't publish outside. They're just for the like parents. It's amazing. Use that. Next slide, please, for me. But wait, there's more. If you go to the calendar, you can see very quickly what are the events coming up. But you can also click on more and you go here, and there's lots of different things that you can just educate yourself on, which is very helpful. Do not message your class parent until you've gone here and checked this, okay? Unless you're like a new parent or kindergarten, like, you know, like we said, this volunteer, like, make sure you've done your research first. If you then, I'm not gonna call out this person, you know who you are, if you then click on school calendar, okay? It'll take you here. Now, Terrence, this is very important. Over here, you click on that. You can add iCal notifications to your phone. So you can then see on your Android or on your phone if you have like whatever is coming out, back to school night, welcome back, Okay, sports day. Okay, thanks. Next one. Okay, if you're not a part of our Carmel community on WhatsApp, again, please do it now. I know you guys don't want to hear from us, and I don't want to message you guys. That's the truth, okay? We're all exhausted from this. So we're trying to streamline things. So if you go to this link, it'll take you to the community, and you are going to choose your class and the campus you're at. So for example, I'm in grade 2, and I'm also in Beninu. So I signed up to Carmel Elementary and the Holy Grove Learning Campus. In your class 1, your class parent will get in touch with you, send messages just related to your class. In your campus 1 will be messages like what we sent out today or yesterday that is applicable to everyone. That's most of the stuff I wanted to say, but very quickly, we do have other ways to get in touch with you, which is you can open your child's backpack up and we send hard copies. I know. We send hard copies. Everyone got that? Hard copies. You can open up your child's backpack. Okay. We also send emails. You can just check the email. I feel like I've educated you guys on how we communicate, so if anyone comes up to me later throughout the year and they haven't done these things, I'm happy to do a review with you and sit down with you. Having said that, if anyone has any issues they would like to discuss, please come to me first and we will sit down and work on a solution together. If I hear chatter that is just going around and not helping anyone, I will come and find you and we can sit down together. Okay? So, a little bit of Pergamos, this is my last slide, okay? We are not asking for indentured servitude. We're just asking you to show up for your kids, because the truth is, they want to see you. When they see you at school, they feel like, oh, my parents are in the know. Like, you're a part of their education. It means the world to them. Thank you.
Hello. Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Emma Lappin. I wear a lot of hats here at Carmel, but I'm here tonight as your Parents Patrol liaison, your least favorite person probably. So who am I? I'm Emma. I have 3 kids at Carmel. Evie in grade 5, Becky in grade 1, and little Nathan with Anna's son, Gimme. So I have all 3 campuses, and I'm the JCC PTA chair and the security patrol, and I'm 2 class moms. So here's what I'm tired of hearing this year: you don't want to do parent patrol. Don't tell me, okay? Just don't. Just don't. You should show up. But look, I know, we're all stretched thin, there's only so much of us that we can do and so much of us to go around, and I think we all feel it. But the reality is, parent patrol twice, maybe thrice a year, and it's 30 minutes. So please, please, please come. And it's a great way to show up and kids see you and they just stand there, maybe look around, maybe make sure our kids are safe, they're already safe. But it's an extra pair of eyes, ears, and hands. It shows that you're here and you're with the rest of us. So, how does it work? It will start after the fall break, which is the big Sukkot break this year, which I think is October 28th, am I right? That's Monday? Okay. So it will start on October 28th. You will get a roster sometime in September telling you when your parent patrols are. Please put it in your calendar. That will not be through the app, that will be through you doing it your own. And then I will email you before your patrol and remind you that you should come and do it. And you come and you talk to Milan or one of the other guys at the door, and they'll give you all your gear. You get a cool vest, you get a walkie-talkie, you get a whistle. It's fun. You look like an awesome superhero. And you stand up front and you just, like I said, you look around and you make sure nothing happens. The craziest thing I've ever seen happen is a dog got off his leash. Alright, we're not talking about like you intervening in I don't know what, it's Hong Kong. If you see something, that's what the walkie-talkie is for. We have professionals, right? We call someone. What else can I tell you? I think that's it. But yeah, so you'll be hearing from me. If you have questions, I'm here. My WhatsApp is always on my email that I sent to you, or you can send me an email. You can find me. And thank you for coming tonight, and have a good day.
Anna and Emma and Rachel as well for all your hard work. And we really feel grateful to have you. And now for the last message before we go to meet the home teachers and the teacher assistant and also the specialist teachers, I would like to invite Carmel Principal Mrs. Rachel Spring.
Please note the last. I'm going to move on. First of all, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome to our wonderful elementary back to school night. Welcome to my chairman and to our Consul General, Mr. Aminati, who is such a supporter and so helpful to the school in so many ways which I'm not allowed to talk about. Thank you. Okay, I agree with Val. Linsala said it all. She said a lot of things that I was going to say, so that cuts the time down. So just give me a few moments. First of all, before anything else, I want to thank Linsala for being the most amazing leader. Leader of children, leader of staff, leader of ideas and innovation. The school has progressed and continues to grow year on year in all sorts of initiatives, in all sorts of areas of excellence, bringing in new ideas, and that's something that sounds leadership. You are fortunate, I am fortunate to work with you. Nizam is also a member of the senior leadership team of the high school, but we're also incredibly fortunate to have a fabulous, energetic, committed, innovative, hard-working, and just wonderful elementary team, ranging from our admin, from our support, right through to each teacher and each assistant. And I think we must keep being aware of that, because the most important message I want to give tonight is that the school, from Tutsi through to grade 12, continues to innovate, continues to be leaders in so many areas, ranging from the way that we teach Mandarin, the way in which having 3 alphabets develops each child's mind, the way in which inquiry empowers the little tiny tots from Tutsi right through to the grade 12s. 2 grade 12s came to see me this afternoon terribly urgently. One of them had read about an initiative where charities sent cards to sick children in hospitals, and she wanted to know if we could do this. And then we talked at length, and we started talking about where we wanted to send the cards. And this awareness and consciousness of being in Hong Kong, the fusion of Jew and Chinese philosophies, values, ethics, morals, made them think about Hong Kong and made them think about Israel. This goes right through the school. I want to focus for 1 minute, and apologies to those of you who heard this last week at the JCC, but I want to talk about social media. We have a parsha, a portion of the Bible read in the synagogue every week, and every week you will hear about it in the elementary assembly on a Friday, and in the high school assembly where one of the students will give a Devar Torah, a talk on the Torah. Last week was Akev, and this week, this coming week, is Re'eh. Interestingly, ACEP talks about the challenges that the Jewish people face after they've got out of the desert, which should have been the worst 40 years, but the challenges came after. And they came from affluence and overeating, over-enjoying, over-making money. They came from all the areas of affluence and greed and everything that went with it. And Rabbi Sachs talks about civilizations. What is a civilization? Why did all those civilizations, from the ancient civilizations, become destroyed? Why did they fail? They failed for that very reason. So I want to spend a little tiny moment to say to you, look at our young people today. Look at our young people in Israel. I am blown away by the way these young people have risen to the occasion. The resilience and the basic faith in our young people. And I see it reflected in this generation. They may face the biggest challenges in the last 50, 80, 100 years. And yet, your children, my grandchildren, all our children are ready and equipped to take those challenges on. Now, I believe that in this school, we give them an added value. And that is, as we've heard this evening, everything we've heard this evening, all the benefits, all the extra benefits of that fusion between the Jewish and the Chinese philosophies. So they really, really are very privileged. Maybe too privileged to go back to Parshas Eichel. Why do I say that? I spoke last week at the preschool about the social media issues, about the laptops, about the phones most particularly. We've now completely banned phones in high school, and it's quite interesting, mostly very, very successfully. But I want to put the burden on you parents. We can ban all sorts of things, it doesn't help. How do we empower you parents to be able to limit phone use? I'm going to talk only about phones. How do we do this? We're going to have a series of talks. I know that the PTA are very keen on expanding what we did last year, but I ask you a big, big favour. The reason why Carmel School is more successful than other schools is because of the level of communication. Communication of child with child, child with teacher, and teacher with teacher, and teacher with parent. I'm asking you to communicate with your child from a very early age about an agreement about phone use. There's no point giving your child an iPhone 20, and I have seen some, and then saying a year later, well, you know what, why are you using this so much? Why are you using it? It's too late. Please talk to your children before they get the phone, before they come into grade 6 and get the MacBook. And then when they get their phone, and then when they come into grade 6, talk about an agreement. You can write an agreement that you sign and they sign about the use of the phone. I beg you, we are living in horrific times in terms of risks for children. Please communicate with your child from an early age to ensure that your child has limited use of social media. Even better, no use at all, but that's difficult to achieve. I could talk longer, but I won't because time is short. One other thing, we are a one community joined together, and therefore we always try to make sure that we look at the most perhaps demanding aspects of sections of this community. For Jewish people in our Jewish International School, Shabbat is the core of the week. My husband always used to say he looks forward to every Shabbat, and every Shabbat he looks forward to every festival. We celebrate. The celebration means that we don't use any sort of social media or phones or cars or anything electrical at all. So we ask you please, no parties on Shabbat. There is Sunday, there is after school. Please, 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 no parties on Shabbat. Whether one is Orthodox or not Orthodox, it is just a little bit of consideration and care for our beautiful community. Similarly, please kosher food at these parties. You can get it from the JCC. If you don't want to and you want guidance about what to buy, the Jewish Studies teachers here will help you out on that. So let us keep joining together. Let us keep celebrating our children. And most importantly, let us all keep communicating so that in line with this week's Parsha, which is my youngest son's mitzvah Parsha, where Moses' final message to the Jewish people is, you're going into Israel now, keep the laws, otherwise, well, if you keep the laws, you will be blessed. If you do not, you will be blessed. Let's focus on the blessing. Let us wish blessings and peace for Eretz Israel, for the land and the people of Israel, for all Jews around the world, and let us work together to keep communicating. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Friedman. This is my 4th year as a head of elementary, and I can listen for hours to all your speeches. And this is a good opportunity for me, Mrs. Friedman, to tell you and to say thank you for all your support. I enjoy every moment of this role, but I have some bad days. And Uri and Rachel, thank you for all your support. Sometimes you fell asleep in the middle of the conversation, but you are always there, even in the middle of the night, so thank you for this. Okay, we are going now to our second part of the evening, and as I promised, the slide. So
we're ahead of time, guys.
Oh, yes. So at 7:15, exactly 7:15, please be in your home teachers' classrooms. And at 7:45, please meet your specialist teachers. Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate it.